Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurion's review. I have Ballistic Missile. This is a very, very hard to find microgame from 1975. It's from Tabletop Games. Looks like they printed it in England. I got this and two other games from somebody in England. I got a pretty good price on it. I think I paid like 25 bucks for it. But anyhow, let's take a look at the game. Let's read the little blurb on the inside. This game doesn't have a board, first off, but we'll get into that in a bit. Situation: the time is the 1970s, the age of the missile and nuclear weapons. The setting is a confrontation between two nuclear powers. After a year of bickering and accusations and complete failure by the politicians to find a peaceful solution, the military have taken the initiative in one country and are about to deliver a nuclear attack. They have three problems to solve: to eliminate the enemy's defenses and then rely on the limited remaining missiles' unimpeded attack to cause sufficient damage; two, to attack the enemy's retaliatory capacity to ensure minimum damage to their own country; and three, to attack and destroy the enemy's capital and major cities in the hope that their destruction will lead to a quick surrender by the defender. So, it's all-out nuclear war. Let's take a look at some of the components. It has a missile attack order pad here that I guess you record all the different information on. And then it's got some counters that you have to cut out. If I ever play this, I am not cutting these counters because I'm never going to be able to get an uncut version of this again. It took me, 10 years to find a copy of this. So if I decide to play this, I'm going to run these through a color printer and just cut out the counters from the copy. I'm not harming the original, but it has mushroom clouds, ICBMs, intermediate range ballistic missiles. Not sure what an SOB is. Looks like nuclear bombers and decoys. Looks like that's most likely the attacking force. And on the other side, it's got some kind of surface-to-air missiles. Not sure what this GAM is. And it's got some cities here, which I assume are the targets. And it's got your intermediate range ballistic missile sites. I guess the enemy's trying to take those out so you can't retaliate. And intercontinental ballistic missile sites. And some measuring devices here. And it's got a little baggie to store the components in. So let's take a little look through the book and see if we can figure out what this game's about. I haven't read the book yet. Looks like the game can be played solo once the attacker has written his orders. They cannot be changed. I guess you can do that, or two-player. And then it goes over the game setup. And it's talking about the counters. And it's got movement for the different missiles. Looks like you just play this on a table. There's no map at all, as I mentioned earlier. And it's talking about aircraft and missile turning, and so it can't turn more than this. If an aircraft or missile turns more than 90 degrees, then it will lose 30 millimeter of its forward movement. Turning will be about a 1-inch diameter circle. Oops. Now it's going over weapon details. Radar stations, destruction of ground targets. So I think this is the amount of victory points you get for destroying the ground targets. And deciding the winner. The winner of the game will be decided when all the attacker's aircraft and missiles have completed their attack. Add together the megaton damage inflicted on the ground stations, then add or subtract the followings. Add 10 per ground-to-air missile destroyed on the ground. Add 25 per anti-missile missile destroyed on the ground. Negative 10 for each bomber destroyed. Negative 5 for each bomber damaged. And negative 1 per undamaged point on each IRBM and ICBM. Result: if the attacker's score is 150 to 300, he's the victor. If it's less than 150, the victory goes to the defender. And it looks like the attacker writes orders, and then the defender writes orders. And here's, I guess this would be the sequence of play. Attacker launches or moves any decoy missiles and determines their effect on enemy ground-to-air missiles. Determine the effect of any nuclear detonations within range upon the attacker's missiles, guidance systems, or aircraft. Determine the effect of the defender's electronic defenses directed at the attacker's missiles. Attacker moves all his missiles and launches any new missiles, then moves or launches any aircraft flights. Determine the effect of any attacker's missile detonating on ground targets. Place defender's missile counters against ground sites which have prepared them for firing. The defender determines the effect of their missiles' guidance systems of any nuclear detonations within range. And then determine if the defender's low-scanning radar stations pick up any low-flying aircraft, or if radar or missile site was tracking low-level flights last move. Determine if they maintain the track. And then move defender's ground station locked-on markers for stations which are changing targets this move. And then 10, move defender's missiles and detonate them as required. And it's talking about low-flying aircraft, radar, missile guidance factor, missile deviation, deflected missiles. This is an interesting game. I've never seen anything like this. Nuclear detonations, there's low air bursts, high air bursts, and ground bursts. And the radius of effect table. It's got some charts here. Decoy missile effects, electronic defenses, electronic defense effects, and then there's an appendix here, and how to fill in the order sheets. And here's some of their other tabletop products. Very interesting. Well, I'm glad I got this. I've been looking for it for years, so one day I'll try it and I'll let you guys know how I liked it. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please click like on the video, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel. And as always, have a good evening.